candy bar tier list by the most qualified monster, me. I'm kidding, of course. But I'm not kidding about the fact that we will be doing a little candy bar tier list of all of the candy bars that came to mind in America. And I want to start off by saying that I am sure, in fact I'm 100% sure that I missed some candy bars. And I know there will be comments saying, "What? This one isn't even on the list." That does not mean that they're not good. I'm sorry if I missed it. There's only so many candy bars I could find relatively quickly. And I grabbed all of the big ones. The ones that you can basically find everywhere and that are very, very popular, common. They're just, they're everywhere. So, that also being said, I am in the USA. So, if you're not in the USA, you might say, "What? That candy bar is actually really delicious where I live." And you may be right. America does not make the healthiest candy, and sometimes the recipes are different. In different countries, they use different ingredients, and it actually tastes better. Like I have been told that Hershey's chocolate is significantly better in Canada than it is here. So maybe their candy bars taste better. These are just examples of what I'm talking about. But we shall see. Point is, this is my tier list opinion. You guys let me know yours in the comments below. And of course, try to keep the comments respectful. And without further ado, why don't we get into the tasting? So, the first one I'm going to do is the All-American Classic, the Snickers bar. There it is. Delicious. Definitely a classic. Peanuts, caramel, and nougat, covered in chocolate. Snickers is definitely a staple, if not the staple. Now, I will also say that I will not be eating all of these candies. I'm going to be taking one singular bite, maybe two if I need to, because I do not want to finish this video sick to my stomach. It happens a lot when I make these taste testing videos with candy, and I'm going to try to avoid that. So, and I have 10 candy bars to get through, so we've got a lot to do here. So, Snickers, a classic, absolute classic. After I'm done trying the Snickers, I will put it alongside one of these. We have D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier for spooky. Now, S might also stand for Snickers. Maybe the Snickers candy bar will be my new staple. I do enjoy Snickers, but they don't tend to be my go-to. I think they're just kind of classic, so I don't know if it'll focus, but there it is. Get that delicious chocolate coating honestly, that's how I feel about Snickers. It's just kind of hard to go wrong. The caramel and nougat is a delicious combo. Here is if it will focus, which I don't know if it will. There's the bit. Layers. The peanuts are great. I love peanut butter. I like peanuts. It's just kind of classic. You really can't go wrong with a Snickers bar. So, I'm going to be putting, but, and this is my opinion, I don't consider Snickers my go-to. So, therefore, Snickers is going to get a very solid B. And that's honorable. That's like I will always eat that if it's offered to me. I just might not go out of my way all the time to get them. I really do think that Snickers is kind of a staple. Like, it really is just like, that is, when you think of a candy bar, you kind of think of a Snickers bar. And that puts it in good standing, honestly. Now, the next one is a little bit more controversial as far as whether you are a fan. Because Milky Ways, which is the next one of which one candy bar that I missed that I wish I could have grabbed was a Mars bar. But I did get a Milky Way. And apparently they're celebrating 100 years, which is cool. But this one takes out the peanuts. Unlike the Snickers, it doesn't have peanuts. It said, no, we don't like peanuts. Instead, we're going to do just that creamy caramel and that smooth nougat. And, that's fine. Some people don't like peanuts. Some people are allergic to peanuts. That's a valid, thing to take out. Valid change to make. This one looks like it cracked a little bit, so there is that creamy caramel. Where is that? There we go. Coming out of the candy bar. But let's try this one. See, it just doesn't have as much going on. And it's really sweet. Like, I actually think that the peanuts from the Snickers counteract the intense sweetness of the candy bar. Whereas this is pure, unadulterated sugar. And it's good. I like it. Would I go out of my way to have it? No, probably not. I'm going to be putting Milky Way in C. It's not a bad candy bar. I would eat it if I had to, or if, it was the only candy available. I would not go out of my way to have it, though. I think it's good, very solid, but nothing I would go out of my way for. Now, the next one is even more controversial. It makes the other two seem quite normal. We have the Three Musketeers bar. And see, Three Musketeers said, you know what? We're going to take innovation a step further. We're going to take out the peanuts from a Snickers. And then we're also going to take out the caramel from a Milky Way. And we're just going to fill this thing chock full of that smooth nougat. Simplistic, elegant, sleek, and delicious. If all of you like is nougat and chocolate. Now, there was a time when I was a kid that Three Musketeers was actually my favorite, believe it or not. That has since changed as my taste buds have evolved. That's not to say that this isn't a solid candy bar. But from my memory, and I haven't had one in a while, it's kind of plain. They almost went too elegant, too sleek, too simplistic for my tastes. It looks very similar to a Snickers on the outside, but on the inside, there's only nougat. Now you might be saying to yourself, Cosmo, if he put Milky Way in C after putting Snickers in B, Three Musketeers must obviously be a D because it has even less stuff in it than a Milky Way. And that is where you would be wrong, because this is very nostalgic for me. I just ate it and it took me back to days in my childhood where I used to be in a lot of theater plays, and we would do them at this place, and all they had was a vending machine for snacks, and I would forget lunches a lot and forget things. So when we were rehearsing, I would go to the vending machine and I would get a giant Three Musketeers bar, and I would survive on those, which is so unhealthy. It's amazing that I'm as healthy as I am. Sometimes, except I guess my mother did feed me very well. But I would eat these all the time, and the nostalgia of those great times of hanging out with my friends backstage, eating Three Musketeers, has to put this, and I'm still debating. I'm going to put it in C for now, but it might go in B. We'll see how I'm feeling. But nostalgia is a powerful drug. Three Musketeers does kind of, I want to put it in B, I just don't know if I can. But that's okay. Now, on to some more interesting ones. Not so much caramel, nougat, chocolate kind of thing. We have the Butterfinger. I am not gonna lie. Maybe the Butterfinger doesn't want me to focus in on it at all. There we go. The Butterfinger is a crispy, crunchy peanut butter bar. And as a kid, I used to hate Butterfingers. Like, I literally wouldn't eat these. I didn't get them very often, but when I did, I would eat them, and I just didn't like them. I thought they were gross. I didn't even like the texture. As an adult, these have become my go-to. Or one of my go-tos. Which might seem weird to some people and might be like a duh to other people. I do like peanut butter. I do like peanut flavored things. I'm not obviously allergic, so I can eat them. And as an adult, I grew to like the texture. Now this thing cracked, so it's about to fall off. I'm gonna eat this right now. What I love about Butterfingers is how crunchy they are, and then immediately how quickly it melts in your mouth. Like, this is the definition of melting in your mouth. And I love the peanut flavors. And it's so simple, but the texture is so fun, and I love things that melt in your mouth. I'm gonna have to put Butterfinger, and I would have put this in D tier as a kid. It goes in S. It goes in S tier. I love Butterfingers. They are really one of the best candy bars in my own personal opinion. And I feel so bad for people with peanut allergies because those are so good. I couldn't imagine not being able to have one. Butterfingers are just delicious. And like I said, at the end, I might arrange these slightly differently. But we'll see. Now, on to another interesting candy bar. This is a big boy. The king size. Payday. Now, I feel like if you're a baseball fan... there we go. This was a big candy bar. Like, I had a lot of friends who played baseball, and they loved Paydays. For whatever reason. I don't know, maybe that's not universal, but it wasn't my experience. I love peanuts. I love caramel. But from my memory, I didn't always like Payday. Now, I haven't had one since I was a kid. So this will be an interesting one. I used to dislike Butterfingers too, so maybe I'll have this and be like, oh my gosh, this is my new favorite candy bar. Or maybe I won't. But we shall see. The caramel on these candy bars is so annoying. It sticks to the wrapper. Like, really, really bad. Like, look what I did to this poor thing. But that is it. We're gonna take that bite right there. See, I don't know what it is. Why do I like Butterfingers so much, but I don't like this? It's not just the texture, it's the flavor. It's almost like the caramel is more honey tasting, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like honey flavoring, but not always, and sometimes it comes off as a little too sickly sweet. And I know it's not honey, but it kind of tastes like it. I'm just not a huge fan of Payday. I was really hoping I was going to be pleasantly surprised by that. I really am not, though. It doesn't do it for me. Maybe it's because I didn't play baseball. Who knows? But I think I'm going to have to put Payday. I honestly wouldn't even eat this. So I'm going to put it in D. I'm sorry, Payday. I know. I'm definitely going to get some comments. But now it's time definitely for some favorites, so be ready for some A's and S's. And now it's time for KitKat. And I love KitKat for so many reasons. I love all the different flavored KitKats. I've gotten them imported from Japan, I think has a lot of different flavors, and a lot of other countries do too. And they're just a solid win. They're always delicious to me. I never dislike them. And I like wafers a lot. And the chocolate is fine. It's good. It's nothing special. But of course, I also love the break me off a piece of that KitKat bar. So, KitKats hold a special place in my heart. And I'm just going to I broke myself a piece. And we're going to be trying it. I don't know if it won't focus. It's so light. And it's sugary, but it's almost got else to say it. It's like a light sugary flavor. It's not. It's very sugary. It's very sweet. But there's something about it that I could eat so many of these and probably be okay. Not really, but I could. It feels like you could. I love them. I love them. They're light, delicious, simple, nothing crazy, but also very unique in their own sense. Like, there's nothing else like the Kit Kat in this list. I love Kit Kats. They're delicious. Now, that's going in S because they are a staple. So that goes in S tier. I'm having a sip of water because I have tried quite a few things now. Now, we're moving into some other candy bars. I'm going to move these over here now because they were out of the frame, but now they won't be. We're going to be trying almond joys. These are very controversial, I think. I feel like I know a lot of people that either love these or hate these completely, and it all depends on whether you like coconut or not. I myself am a massive coconut fan. Almond joys are delicious. Now, if I have too many S tiers, I am going to choose a top S tier candy. This might be it. I love almond joys, and I get made fun of so much for loving them as much as I do. Now, I haven't had one in probably a good year, so we're going to, who knows, maybe they've changed the recipe. But I do enjoy an almond joy. If it will focus, which it doesn't want to, that's for sure. I don't know what it's so focused on. There we go. Cheers. Oh my goodness. What I like about almond joys the most, though, is how moist and creamy the coconut is. Most of these candy bars are dry, right? They have the caramel, which definitely can make them a little more moist, but most of the time they're relatively dry. Almond joys are like a moist candy bar. I know some people don't like that word, but it's so delicious. I love almond joys. It's an S. It's a simple S. There's really nothing else to say about it. It's an S tier. I can't lie. So delicious. Also, that was my chair. I was moving my chair. I know what it sounded like. It was my chair. See, I can do it again. It was my chair. The next candy is another staple for America. Hershey's milk chocolate bars. And I actually live pretty close to the Hershey factory in Hershey Park. So Hershey definitely is all over the place, and it's Hershey's. I mean, what can you say? It's a candy bar, it's chocolate, you have these with s'mores. I feel like that's the main reason that people buy these, is for s'mores or for cooking. I don't really tend to eat these by themselves, but we're going to try it. I would say I have literally never ever purchased a Hershey's chocolate bar just to eat like this in my life. But if you look, they have the little Hershey's logo. And we'll take a bite here. of the things that I will say about Hershey's is how waxy the chocolate is. Like, it tastes like wax. And that's just not my favorite thing. It's okay. They taste fine. But I've always kind of thought that Hershey's chocolate tastes like a Tootsie Roll, which I think is also made by Hershey, if I'm not mistaken. Same with Hershey's Kisses and all that. It doesn't mean that they're bad. I think it's fine. I think the chocolate's okay. But when you go to a store and you want a chocolate bar and you want just chocolate, like pure chocolate like this, there are so many better options than this. It's fine. It's a staple for a reason. But it gets a D for me. I would never, ever, ever eat Hershey's chocolate by itself like this just because I want to. It's just not my thing. But now we get into some more interesting ones. We've had a lot of S's. We've had a couple D's. We've had a B. We've had some C's. And if I'm not mistaken, we might be in for our first A. I don't want to spoil it, but I am a bit of a Reese's peanut butter fan. Reese's peanut butters. Technically not a chocolate bar, but it's close enough. Delicious. Peanut butter cups are one of my favorite candies. Now, Reese's aren't necessarily my favorite peanut butter cup, but they're the most easily accessible, and they're iconic. This orange and yellow and brown look is it's so iconic, it's such a vibe. It's the American, like, another really big American sweet. Like, I don't know, when I think of American candies, Reese's is one of the ones I think about. Definitely Snickers and Reese's tend to be the biggest ones for me. Also, I think somebody just texted me. I'm almost positive, but I'm going to ignore them for now. Here is this beautiful peanut butter cup. And usually, the one thing I'm not a huge fan of with Reese's peanut butter cups is how waxy the chocolate is for these as well. But I love the peanut butter so much that I almost don't care about the chocolate. So, let's try it. Oh my goodness. It's so yummy. Now, another thing is I really like Reese's Puffs. The creamy peanut butter is so salty and so sweet. Mixed with, like, I think if the chocolate was better, Reese's would be an S tier, easy. But because the chocolate is so waxy and I just don't like that, I just don't like it. It is pretty much what I said, and I didn't really mean to spoil it. I was kind of hoping I might be wrong, and I almost thought about doing S. But I think A is looking pretty lonely, and so we're going to put one in A. Reese's is an A tier candy to me. And that leaves us with our last candy of this video. And that is a crunch bar. Crunch, 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 which, by the way, so crinkly. This is my favorite crinkle. So crinkly, crinkly. Delicious crunch bars. I believe, are they made by Hershey? I'm gonna look real quick. No, it's Nestle. Now, I don't believe this is an actual crunch bar. I believe this is a bunch of miniatures. So let me just take a look real quick. Yeah, it is. It is. I was not able to get an actual crunch bar for some reason. No. focus in on? There you go. Little Rice Krispies, and actually you can see them right here, if it'll focus. There they are. So they've got crunch, as well as the chocolate. You know what I like about Crunch Bars? What I love about Crunch Bars is how simple they are, kind of like the Kit Kats, where they're really not complicated. They're a super simple candy bar. And yet, that's why they're so good, because you can eat them and you don't feel sick after eating one. You don't feel like your taste buds are overwhelmed. Yeah, they're very sweet, but there's just something about them that makes them a little bit more palatable than some of these other really, really sweet ones. And I think for that, I would have to give Crunch Bar a solid A tier as well. I do really enjoy Crunch Bars. Again, they're not like my number one go-to. Like, I would definitely get a Butterfinger, and I would probably even get a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup over a Crunch Bar. But sometimes I want that fun texture, that little crunch, that is very unique to it specifically. Even the Butterfinger doesn't have the same kind of crunch as the Crunch Bar. And I'll just get one, you know. But that being said, I believe this is it. I believe we've done it. This is the official list. Nobody can argue with this one. This is it. Period. I'm kidding. But this is my official list. As of 2025, this is how I feel about each of these candies. I think if I were to pick out of the 3 S tiers, which one would I eat the most often? It would probably be Almond Joy or Butterfinger. Kit Kat I won't have as much unless it's like one of the special flavored ones. Like a basic normal Kit Kat. I like the dark chocolate Kit Kats the most, actually. Like if you gave me a dark chocolate Kit Kat, those other two might have to take a back seat sometimes. But I think, I personally am pretty happy with this list. I wasn't sure exactly where some of these were going to go. Like, I wasn't sure about the 3 Musketeers. I am tempted to put it in B still, but I think I'm going to leave it there in C. It's definitely like a C+, you know? Like, I could put it right in the middle between those two. And then I wasn't hoping to like Payday more. Then I ended up liking it, and I was hoping, well, I wasn't really, I expected to have Hershey's in D or C. But that was just really not that interesting or enjoyable to me personally. And then, but by the way, Hershey's is very important for s'mores, for certain cooking recipes, all that. Snickers, I kind of had a feeling would be B, right from the get-go. And then the A's, I wasn't sure if I was going to put a Kit Kat in A, but eating that Kit Kat, I was like, no, that's an S tier. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like, hype the video so that this video actually, gets any traction at all, because YouTube is terrible right now. And when I say right now, I mean they've been like that all year. I've been noticing so many other YouTubers that are getting way less views than normal too. It's not just me. So YouTube, please stop messing with the algorithm and leave it alone so us creators can actually let our viewers and let new viewers see our videos. Thanks, would appreciate it. Stop implementing new weird features. Like, why do you need to like and hype something now? Like, why? What is this 2-step verification? What is happening? Anyway, I don't want to rant. I absolutely could, but I won't. Now, longer